Welcome back
baby.
to Beddy Yards,
All day,
baby.
so.
The only podcast for the hood.
From
The
the
hood,
hood,
man.
baby.
You already know it's also J5.
Hey,
bro.
she was so
Hey, what's good? It's funny, man.
Man. And on today's episode, bro, I'm going to take a step back and look at life from a different perspective, bro. This man here represents second chances. He
All day,
represents redemption. Bro, I'm ready to rip in, bro. Hey, everyone give a warm welcome to also.
Come on, man. Come on.
Hey, welcome,
Wow, what
bro.
an intro. What an intro, bro.
Oh, welcome, bro. Welcome.
I might just deflate a little here.
Everything you
Pumping me
said,
up like
bro.
I'm full of air. Honestly, boys, firstly, congratulations. What a fantastic platform you've created.
bro.
You should be very proud. I've quietly been in the shadows following until I actually decided to speak up and say, hey, I like what you've got
Appreciate it,
a
man.
little while ago. And how good.
Yeah.
How good. You should be super stoked. It's not easy to crack these platforms, and you only get one shot at it. You either do or you don't make it, and he's a kicking butt.
Bro, we appreciate that, bro. Coming from somewhere, bro. This guy's podcast got nearly 2 million streams, bro.
Come on now, bro.
Yeah.
2 million streams,
So
man. A
it's
vet in the
crazy.
game, bro.
It's been hard work, and it's not easy because, like I said, if you don't crack it from the get-go, you don't get a second chance at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, what you think might be funny or what you think might be sort of connecting to the audience could be just shit.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And until you start to see that audience connection and the downloads coming back and people starting to interact over it, it's not until then where you actually go, oh, wow, people don't mind what I'm doing,
Yeah.
which obviously then allows you to be a bit more confident,
Yeah.
build your profile, build the platform and get it out there and use a living proof of it.
Mad,
So.
bro. Love that, bro. It's coming
Appreciate
from OG,
that,
bro.
man.
No,
Vet in
it's
the
all
game,
good.
bro.
Trust me,
bro.
man. Those words like mean a lot to us, bro. Because that's all we got.
Yeah.
And
We're
it's
not
hard
getting paid
work.
yet, but
Hey.
that shit fucking carries us a long way, man. and we
It's hard
appreciate
work.
it.
And I think, too, people need to understand that, the guys will be seeing your platforms growing, your numbers growing on your socials and all this sort of stuff. It's great, but it doesn't pay the bills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you get, until you're getting in the millions of downloads on your Facebooks
Hard
and
out.
on your, YouTube. I think
Hard,
YouTube's pulled back a lot on monetary sort
Oh,
of
bro,
things.
yeah,
and
we're getting shafted from them, bro.
and
Yeah.
it's,
what
but
it
it's
is.
hard.
Yeah, it is
I'll
what
only
it
run,
is.
we record obviously in audio and visual, but I only release audio. I only ever have because in my eyes, I believe that everyone sort of has at least an hour, and we run a double episode if it's 2 hours. If it's 120, 130, we'll hold it down. But I know everyone's got an hour in the day, whether you're traveling to work,
Yeah.
whether you're training, whether you're just going for a walk, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
We've all got that hour in the day to just plug in, listen to some music, listen
Yeah,
to a
100%.
podcast, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's working,
Yeah.
So often I get hit up, why don't you do a YouTube? Why don't you do YouTube? One, I'm not smart enough to do YouTube. I'm a fucking idiot. I tried
YouTube, son.
to set up a channel and I just went, fuck it.
Do what works for you, right?
Yeah, that's it. And I'm constantly getting told, you should do this and you should do that. Yeah, okay, I get it, but that's not what I wanted to do and what I wanted to create.
Yeah.
I believe that I could have the best independent podcast in Australia in the true crime category, especially with stories of redemption, and it is the
100%.
OG, 100%.
100%, bro.
A lot of my guests now, and kudos to them, are having a crack, and it's one of those things because we're coming into 11 seasons, 2 million downloads. There's a lot of work that's gone behind the scenes, and now I'm
100%,
starting to see the roll-on effect, and that's others that are stepping into the space, and then they're interviewing my guests and the earlier seasons, and and it's flattering.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
Fucking mad,
We'll
bro.
see.
Yeah,
We'll see.
bro.
Fucking
shit with
see, bro.
them.
I'll hold it down. I'm ready to go.
Exactly.
No, credit. Hey,
ball
listen.
up,
If you
bro.
can hang in there, and if you can crack the market, and you can find something that's unique and that identifies what you want to do,
Yeah.
that people want to hear and listen to,
That's
which
it,
you
bro.
guys have.
Yeah.
From a poly point of view,
Yeah.
no one's doing what you've done.
Yeah.
And it's funny and it's connecting, and you have had, and that's why I said to you in the start, I felt a little bit sort of out of my league here. You have had some cracker guests,
Yeah.
like serious,
Appreciate
heavyweight
it, bro.
guests, and I'm
We
like,
trip out about it too, bro.
Hey, man, like, don't downplay yourself.
oh, I try not to play with myself at all.
It's fun.
Sometimes he's got to knock the head off it, eh?
Hey, bruv.
Just gotta peel the skin.
Ooh, it's like peel it back.
Hey, cheers.
Cheers, mate. He's in the afternoon. Then the yarns.
Hey, before we start,
Sure.
we already started, but you need to take those 3 shots, bro. Every guest take these shots, bro.
3 or 1?
3, brother.
Up to
3.
you. No, take 3.
But then I look like a weak cunt.
Take 3.
You just put it on me to have a crack at 3. I mean, who put those there? That's like I dropped the ball.
I'm just talking to him, slowly putting it. Like,
I thought the game was pick 1.
brother, come on now. You're about it.
We
know
changed the
you're
rules. We
about it,
changed the
brother.
rules.
We changed the rules just for you.
Change the rules.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You can.
I can't open this one. Shit.
He's a little.
Nah, you're right. yeah. I found the little flap.
Yeah, we'll open one for me.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, what? That's you can't stack that on that on
We got you,
that.
brother. We got you.
Fuck, man. I feel like I'm
You
gonna
lactose?
get taken advantage of. I'm vegan.
Oh well.
Oh,
Is there any animal products in it?
I don't know. Is it?
That had lamb in it.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to the lambs.
What fucking lamb was that? Was it Mary's lamb? That's for sure. What's this one? You don't even let me see what I'm drinking.
Go.
Hey.
That's,
Welcome to Bendy House.
Welcome to Bendy House.
I feel like
Yeah,
I'm
it's
getting
a
taken
lot of
advantage of.
icebreaker,
You set me up. Where are you? Fuck.
These ones are nice. These ones are
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, until it comes back up.
These are nice. We can save that one.
Thank you, bro.
You can
I
have a
appreciate it.
sip. You
Let's
can
talk
have
a
a
little bit
sip,
more. I feel like a prostitute that's just gotten paid and's got to perform instantly. Like, don't you have foreplay first? Can't you just lube me up a little bit before you just instantly
I want the
fist me?
ping pong show straight away, bro.
Come on, brother.
I want the best of the best straight away.
That's deep. You just dropped it in there.
But bro, you're telling us, bro, you grew up in Seatown, eh?
I did.
Campbelltown, eh?
Yep. Absolutely. So I was born on the North Shore in Manly, and my father and mother obviously couldn't afford to continue there, so we applied for Housing Commission back in, I think, about 79, 80. And life became Campbelltown, straight into the thick of the Bronx.
Oh, right. So, yeah, you were saying you grew up with Samoans?
Yeah, I did. I mean, look, it was predominantly an Indigenous community in Aids where I lived, and Bradbury. But then you had, your different areas tended to have different communities, whether it be Asian, poly, Indigenous.
Yeah.
I just happened to be within the Indigenous community, and that's where it sort of started for me. There's a lot more to the story, but I ended up at a very young age on the streets.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until, my early teens, and my Samoan, Samolua Tua, and big shout out to his son, whose same namesake, Samolua Tua. I know if you see this, so you're going to know, brother. Much love. But his dad blessed me with open arms and brought me in, and taught me, a lot of culture, a lot of love, and it was a beautiful thing. A beautiful thing. I had the lounge, food, mate.
Food's cracker, eh?
It was just always pork and potato,
Yeah.
or chicken and potato.
Bro, you're pretty, like, you know what? You walked in, I was like...
Boa. Is that it?
More.
Boa. Yeah.
You walked in, I was like, fuck, you're pretty thick, eh? Now he's way there, like, fuck, you're fucking
Yeah, bro,
jacked up,
be eating
bro. I was
all
No,
like,
bro. No.
You're not?
No, I've lost 30 kilos.
Sweet.
Oh, you said thick, not fat.
No.
I said thick.
What, should I have this one now?
Go on then.
Go, brother. Yes, sir. Yes,
See it,
sir.
bro.
All right, here we go.
Fucking
I'm getting
hell,
date
bro.
raped. I can feel it.
Someone dropped something in there, bro.
I'm worried.
But
No,
yeah,
they're
bro.
sealed. But yeah, so, and that was very humbling. Very humbling, and I sort of really appreciate that and forever grateful that I was able, because I didn't have no family, no support. It was the streets, and that was back then a very tough life to live.
Yeah, big
especially in
time.
Seatown, bro.
Yeah.
It was raw. We had a lot of the gang activity. They had the poly boys had their reds and their blues. Your Indigenous. Put it this way, you wouldn't walk through Campbelltown Station with a pair of shoes on and think you're going to get out the other side of the tunnel. You were guaranteed to get turned upside down. 100 all day long.
Oh, yeah.
And if you did get through, you were going to get 3-4 outed. Like, it's just That was how it was. And the trains, you wouldn't get on a train because by the time you got to Minto or Lemire, you'd have nothing on.
Yeah.
That was just what it was, bro. It was hectic, bro.
That's red hot.
It was hectic. Like you wouldn't like. For us, we were young, and our criminality started very young. You know, so the survival, I guess, back then was, doing over sports stores or it turned into ram raids and stuff like that. But initially, it was about getting earns just to basically be clothed. You know what I mean? Like, and so now we talk about all the Air Maxes and shit, bro. We
rocking that shit.
OG, bro.
Bro, we were Sergio Tacchini, like Country Road. I mean, Gan, all these brands, the Nautica brand, like, fuck. We were in Nautica when these lads were all in nappies or spoons in their dad's sack. Like, we would literally be ram raid, Nautica shops and factory outlets. Like, it was hectic.
That's crazy.
But we just wanted, I guess, I never wanted anyone to know my business. I didn't want anyone to know that I had no home. You know what I mean? So whenever I fucking looked good on the street, I felt good. But I never guaranteed you from someone coming up and you getting pumped.
Yeah, 100%.
You would, I'd be lying if I said that there wasn't someone that I knew through that generation and era that didn't get rolled at some stage. That was crazy.
Do you believe in karma? Do you think?
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
Man, I wish karma had stopped fucking me.
Yeah.
Like, I do. And I'm spiritual, I'm religious, and look, I'll be honest, I think that karma is definitely strong.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I've always, and I'm not glorifying any of this, so please, guys, don't feel that I'm sitting here talking up or big note or anything, but we're talking about my story, then I'll be open.
That's it.
One thing I was never something about, and that was, if it wasn't a business or I knew they had insurance, like never homes, never personal shit, never. I never ever went for that. That wasn't my style. That was sort of me. That was junkie shit.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? We were cracking big earns. Like we were hitting particular places and factories and outlets for laptops back then. Like I remember when the mini Discmans come out. I don't even know how many of you would remember that. We went from cassette to Discmans, and then they had these mini Discmans, right? And the cracker was the handycams. When the handycams started to come out. So it'd be nothing for us to, like go and get an urn and get handycams and these little Discmans and just pump them. And you're making bank. You know what I mean? Like we would get the old Toshiba satellites brand new in the box. And we'd get $900, $1,000 for them back then. I'm nearly 50.
What do you do, like trucks and shit, or just
warehouses?
Proper warehouses.
Yeah, we're not trucks, but we'd sit, watch, look,
bro.
and sledgies with our best mates.
Bro, bro, like, if you don't mind answering,
please.
like, how did your life lead into that?
Yeah, I sort of grew up in a home that was predominantly, quite violent, full of alcohol.
My mother, before you met your Samoan family?
Well before. I mean, I was probably, or not probably, I was 10. My mother had walked out with my two siblings and left me with my father, who at that stage wasn't in any way what I would call, able to look after me, let alone himself. Today our relationship's fantastic and we've healed a lot.
That's awesome.
And thanks to God that we've been able to do that, because he's not well and I love him dearly and we speak daily. So,
awesome,
but he had his demons.
Yeah.
And there was a lot he didn't know how to deal with, and me being the oldest son sort of copped the brunt of it. Yeah. My mother obviously had enough. She bailed, took my two younger siblings, and that was that. There was 16 years between us seeing my siblings again. Yeah. So then, I was taken out of my father's custody because I went to school covered in bruises one day. And, the counsellor sort of said, you're not going back to that environment. And it was family and community services back then that would come in, and next minute, I'm getting ping pong between different foster homes.
Right.
I was in
DHS with Kid?
Yeah, so I did end up going to what do you call it? They were houses where they put kids in it. But for me,
residential housing?
Yeah, it was like a residential housing, and they had, you'd go in there and they'd have a room. What was it called? There was one at Minto. Because the terms are different today to what
Yeah,
they were then.
yeah.
But it all come under family and community services,
yeah.
facts.
Yeah.
And for me, I couldn't cop it. You know, I just,
you didn't like bouncing around different
I just
families?
didn't feel ever welcome or settled, you know, because it was always a family. And credit to the people out there that are doing it, because I think the world of you to help people. But for me personally, so I'd go and get hotties and sleep in cars. You know what I mean? And then from there it was like, well, I was still playing good football and I was getting picked in all the rep sides, but I wasn't at school. And I had to pretend every time I'd come to training, and I'd be at the Oval and everyone would be like, oh yeah, we're all going home. Yeah, Thursday night training or whatever. And yeah, we're going to have a shower. And I'd go hide in the dressing sheds and have a quick shower. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I'd sneak out and they'd be like, oh, you going? Yeah, I'm walking home. Nah, I was walking down around the bushes and waiting. And then when everyone come, I'd come back and break into the hall and sleep in the hall, you know, put the heater lights on or actually sleep out in the cricket pitch out in the middle of the Oval because it was pitch black. And I thought, no one's going to walk through here. So it was like a safe spot. And I had to wear this sort of mask and facade for so long. You know, so it sort of become a thing of, fuck that. I don't, you know, what am I going to do? So at that age, you can't go get a rental property, you can't do anything. So it's hotel to hotel to hotel.
Yeah.
And then when you get pinched, boys home to boys home to boys home. And that's exactly how it started.
Cycle, bro.
Bro, what a journey.
What age were you when everything changed? Like that whole mentality of like, you know, how your life turned around.
Mate, honestly, brother, for me, I really sort of, the last jail sentence I did, I got 6 years for commercial importation in 2009, 2010. And I think that was the nail in the coffin, so to speak, of me. Like, it was either I can continue down the road. I could see things weren't the way that they once were. The mentality was different. The criminality was different. It wasn't fun anymore. I was a dad, you know, by this stage. And it was make a choice. You're either going to spend your life going in and out of here or you're going to end up dead. Your kids are going to grow up without a father. They don't deserve to live the life that I lived. That wasn't their choice to come into this world and then for me to drag my shit from the past into the future for them to have to carry that burden. Like, what sort of a father am I? If you're that kind of person that keeps dragging your kids through that shit generation after generation, then to me you're a fuckwit. It's about making the best for your kids, making change. You know what I mean? We live from our experiences. We embrace our journey to the point where we go, okay, well, like for me, you know, certain things that happen to me, and no one would ever want it to happen to their kids.
Yeah, 100%.
But do I play the victim for the rest of my life, walking around with my head down and my shoulders down and my kids feeling that energy and that negativity? Or do I lift from it, embrace it, and make better choices and give them a better life?
Show them a new way.
100%. You break the cycle.
Fucking earth, bro.
You know, like, I mean, I get it. There'll be people out there that'll see this and fuck you, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You see it with clubs, you know, second, third generation, and that's all cool if that's your thing. I couldn't think of anything worse than my son being my Cowie.
Fucking
Like I seen something on the news the other night, you know what I mean? Like
That's
a father
crazy,
and son
man.
get pinched. The kid was 19, the father's whatever he was, and here they are ramming cop cars. I first think, oh, fuck, you know, like, where's your head at?
Yeah.
What, you're going to sit 2 out with your son?
Supposed to be a leader, bro.
You're going to sit 2 out with your son at 19? Oh, yeah, mad cunts. I'm at R&R with me and my fucking
Yeah. That's crazy.
What the fuck?
Yeah, bro.
Some people aren't really built that way, right? Like, their mentality's still stuck. Fuck, if I'm going to be like that, well, my kids are going to help follow me and shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I look, unfortunately, the world that we live in, it's one of them things that people are that way.
Exactly.
You know,
right,
whether it's
man.
through addiction and they don't see any out, so therefore they keep, you know, bringing the next generation into that world.
That's it, bro. They're so stuck in how they were.
They are.
Yeah.
You got to want to choose to make that choice,
Yeah,
and it's a tough road. It's a hard road to walk away from.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's addiction or crime, whatever it might be. You know, you get into this space where we all find, I guess, that comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know, stepping out of that can be very scary
Yeah.
and very uncomfortable.
Man, like, bro.
But especially coming from what you came from, you know, all those stints in jails and stuff like that, to still have the creativity and to still have the confidence
Drive
to,
and
you know,
everything, yeah.
confidence to start a podcast and stuff
Yeah.
like that, bro. That shows a lot about your mentality. Do you reckon you got that from those long nights in Seatown, you know, all those times there, the thought of, I'm not going to give up, you know, I'm going to fucking keep going. If I got to rob a house, I'm going to fucking rob a house.
Yeah.
Do you reckon you got that
Look,
from
I
them?
think my resilience has come from my upbringing. So if that puts that answer in perspective, I think that,
Experience is the best teacher.
you know, like I've seen, I've felt, been a part of, fuck, man, you get stabbed, bashed, whatever.
Yeah.
They're all learning experiences. Fuck that, I'm not going to let that happen again. For me, and it's not like, oh yeah, my world's perfect and I'm on top of the world and everyone, I've
Yeah.
killed it and I'm doing this.
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah.
no, mate. I battle every day.
Yeah. Hear that, bro.
Every day, live week to week financially. You know what I mean? I've got big roads ahead that are at the moment holding me back. A big anchor on my leg is a fucking electronic bracelet. You know what I mean? Like, these things, I'm locked down basically. But I refuse to go down without fighting. I refuse to.
Love that, bro.
Yeah, you got to, man.
yeah.
You got to look. What am I teaching my kids if I'm not teaching them to be resilient?
Yeah.
If they don't see me as a father leading from the fucking horse, leading the lead horse in the pack, you know what I mean? And
Recognize,
saying,
bro.
right, this is how we're going to roll.
Yeah.
My kids, and praise to God, my kids, I always say my wrongs are their rights. I have 3 sons and a daughter, all amazing. And I'm not
Awesome,
just
bro.
being dad talking them up, but,
Yeah.
you know, they're all academic, they're all creative, athletic, and I pray that they never ever lose that and choose the other way because, you know, then it'd mean, okay, well, what was my purpose of everything I've gone through? But I do feel in my heart that it has been for them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
For them, and that's the only way I can look at it proudly and say I've lived that life, been given that life, and experienced those experiences, so that
So
my
they don't
children
have to,
never
yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
And I feel that they're in good stead. We're doing a good
Fuck
job.
yeah, bro.
mad,
I love that, man.
Fucking, bro, fucking. I know it's been touchy, but bro, we love talking about it, bro. Talk us about like your thoughts and like what you think about religion, bro. Because like, you know, you're talking, bro, and I was just analysing and I was listening to you like, bro, I thank God, and like, you know, I'm a bit religious. And bro, like for me personally, for us, you know, bro, we know we've all gone through, you know, our own trials and, you know, own battles growing up, but fuck man, I've always kept that kind of spiritual connection, you know, close to us. And bro, like it's like a thing that, you know, before every meeting, before every big event, bro, we're just praying, bro.
Yep.
Like, you know.
Don't stop.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
Yeah.
You know, for me, it was very hard growing up because I was raised Irish Catholic.
Oh, okay.
And I was in a Catholic primary school, which I was sexually abused by the brothers, the priests, the monks.
Fucks.
And so for me, all I ever seen when it came to that was death. I wanted to kill every cunt that fucking ever came near me that was of any style of, you know, Catholic religion.
Yeah.
And that's not, please don't take that anybody in a wrong way. That's just me telling my thoughts and feelings after being, you know,
After what you went through.
raped by
right?
fucking monks.
Yeah.
So back then, that was the school. It was sisters and brothers, or they look like priests, but they're brothers. So for me, belief in religion went out the window at a very young age because I thought, if there's a God, why is this happening?
Yeah, good job.
Why are these
yeah.
people of God doing this to me? It doesn't add up.
It doesn't.
You know, you're a kid.
Exactly
One,
right.
one, they knew I was from a broken home. 2, they knew I had no support. 3, no one had believed me because I was a troublesome child. And it didn't. It took fucking years and years and years for someone to actually acknowledge. And it wasn't until others that had come forward with the pretty well identical stories that they started to listen, because we don't know. I haven't spoken to each other for 20 odd years, but yet
Yous didn't
our
know that
stories
about each other.
correlate very, very much in sync. Like,
Yeah.
obviously something's not right.
Yeah, right.
Then obviously there's been inquiries and you know, pedophilia and all that sort of stuff. They were charged. Some have died. Sucko. Hopefully they're in hell burning, motherfuckers. But you know, that was the reality. So to get back to your question, for me initially, I found it very hard to accept any sort of belief.
Yeah, right.
'Cause
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
That's understandable, man.
But as you get older and you know, we all get in those spots where we look up and we say, please God, can you help me? You know, and we pray and we seek forgiveness, or we seek the guidance of God. And yes, today, 100%, I always have been a believer, always have been religious, but I was very confused to the point of, if I was one of God's childs, why would they allow a religious person to destroy my life and take these innocents from me?
Yeah.
I to this
you would've
day
had
at nearly 50 can't give you that answer, and I don't want to give that answer because it's not for me to give.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, you know, it's not something that I any longer look at as I'm a victim. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor,
right.
and I'm a proud survivor, and you know, fuck you, because I've come a long way from
Big
it.
time, man.
bro.
You know,
It is
yeah,
what it
okay,
is,
it's
like.
rattled me. It's done a lot of negativity in my life.
Yeah.
You know, it turned me to crime and
Yeah,
drugs
well, that's
because
it.
I rebelled.
Yeah.
I struggled to be accepted in society.
Yeah.
I was different. You know what I mean? I didn't trust
Yeah.
anyone. I just couldn't. Even the foster homes,
Yeah.
I
Exactly
could not
right.
stay in that foster home. These were loving and caring parents, I'm sure. You know, that had other children. They welcomed you in. I'd run.
Yeah.
First chance I'd get, I'd be gone.
Yeah.
I'd be back to the streets.
Yeah.
And for some reason, the streets were safer, as dangerous as they were, for me, than what it was
where you
to
felt
live
comfy.
in four walls, where somebody else had some sort of control over you.
Yeah.
But I truly believe that, you know, it's God that's put me on this path where I am, and I'm still here, and I feel blessed to that. Yeah, so thank you for asking.
Honestly,
Shout out
kudos
God,
to you,
man.
bro.
Yeah.
Kudos to you,
Yeah.
because fucking.
And that goes across the board, brother. It doesn't matter what you really. And I'm not going to get into the whole
100%. Yeah.
what your religion, what your religion.
Yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah.
No,
No, I
a
get
believer's a believer.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
And there is one God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Which is
in
only
my
one
heart
God.
there is one
It's only
God,
one.
Yeah.
and I respect your God, your God,
Yeah.
your God.
Yeah.
Whatever we each see who God is,
Yeah.
it's still
It's the
God.
same one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, so I think that, you know, the way society is and the way that the world is,
Yeah.
I don't feel that we should be, you know, tearing strips off each other because you're raised this way
Yeah.
and I'm raised this way.
Yeah.
But we're sitting at the table. We're all believers of God.
Yeah.
And you know what? Amen to that, because without God,
Nothing,
Hey,
man.
nice,
Nothing.
bro.
Yeah.
and
Kudos to you,
I
bro,
truly
man.
do.
Honestly, man.
I pray, and I'm blessed, and I know that even in my circumstances at current, there's some good things happening, and I truly believe through prayer that it's only happening that way.
Yeah.
I don't
Come
think
on.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Come on now.
100%.
Kudos to
Yeah,
that, bro.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
even though all that you've gone through, bro, like you still trotting, you're still fucking kicking, man. And like, you know,
Pushing shit uphill, but I'm
Yeah.
pushing it.
Yeah,
You're still pushing, bro.
But the
There's
thing
a
is,
bit
you're
of shit in
still-
my car, bro.
but you're still moving. You know what I mean?
Oh, fuck. I got to.
Yeah,
I got to.
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what are you going to do? Lay down and just get fucked?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
Nah,
Like,
but
it's
that's
not
the thing.
in me,
That's
you know
the
what I
thing
mean?
people do.
People
Yeah,
just
but
wait
people
for
do.
someone
Don't
to
get me
save
wrong.
them,
Don't get me
bro.
wrong. There ain't dark. There's plenty of times there where there's dark days where
Yeah.
I like I'm a long haul truck driver,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I've just stepped away from it recently because it was consuming. I'd spend hours and hours like
On the road.
I'd live in the
Yeah.
truck from Monday
Yeah.
to Friday because my bail didn't allow me to. I have to be home and on curfew on the weekends.
Yeah.
Prior, I used to do laps around Australia. You know, 4 or 5 weeks at a time, depending on the wet seasons and the dry seasons
Yeah.
up the
Yeah,
north
Yeah,
end.
yeah.
And it'll chew you up.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. Mentally, it'll chew you up. Mate, I've sat there and I'm proud to say as a man, there's times I've burst into tears and screamed, and fuck, why? You know, like, why God? Why you got me in this
Yeah.
spot? What is the purpose of me being where I am now?
Yeah.
What's down the track? There has to be a purpose to
Yeah,
why I'm
yeah,
getting
yeah.
tested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
You know, and there's times I want to.
hear
There's
it,
times
bro.
I want to just throw it in.
Yeah.
You know, like I won't lie to you. There's just
Yeah.
been some fucking dark
Yeah.
moments
Oh,
where I've just
trust me,
gone, I'm
bro.
out.
Trust
Yeah.
me.
I'm out. I've had enough.
Yeah.
I know if I end this right now, it's over.
Awesome.
But then I go, hang on a sec. I have 4 beautiful children
Yeah,
that I'm going to
no,
give a life sentence
Too many
to.
people, bro.
Do they deserve that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. There might be jail in whatever's going on. It might be months, might be years. I don't know. I'm here to fight. I'm not here to walk
100.
around and go, oh, yeah, you got me. I've done
Yeah.
nothing wrong.
Yeah.
But I've got to fight it.
Yeah.
It's a process.
Yeah.
And already it's been years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't know how long ahead.
Yeah.
But as long as God's on my side, brother,
Yeah.
I'll keep going forward.
No, that's awesome,
Come
bro.
on, bro.
Fucking
Love
'cause,
that, bro.
Yeah,
Love-
so many people would blame everyone, blame the, not just themselves, but like
Circumstances.
it's like a shift in perspective where it's like you're not trying to prove anyone wrong, bro. You're just trying to prove yourself right, bro. You know, and kudos to you for coming on because like there'll be kids watching this, and there's fucking a lot of Polynesian kids, bro.
Yeah.
There's always a way out. There's always a way out, you know.
There is, and you know what?
You know.
People look and go, he's just an old cunt, you know, like, fuck, what does he know?
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, what do I know?
Yeah.
Sit down with me. Let's have a talk.
Or
Yeah,
that,
yeah. That's
You know what I
it.
mean? I'm not here to
Yeah.
bridge. I'm not here to fucking glorify anything. I'm just here as a guest of you brothers, and I'm honoured to be in a platform that you guys are touching a lot of people's lives. And I feel that if you've asked me to come on here and be open,
Yeah.
then I'm praying to God that at least one person out of the people that hear this, it connects with.
100%, bro.
For anybody out there that wants to be judged and call me this and that, whatever, mate. Well, that's up to you. I've got big shoulders.
Think I'll
you know,
fucking fight him.
Go on,
I tell you, once his ankle bracelet comes off, I'm going to be the oldest fucking Muay Thai heavyweight in Australia. I didn't say oldest champion, I said the oldest.
Oldest.
Oh, I've still got a few more fights in me left. I'm going to have another crack. I'm going to have another crack.
What,
As soon
so
as I-
did you have a crack before?
Fucking oath, bro. I'm Muay Thai for 28 years. I love
In
it.
the ring and out in the ring.
The last bloke got beat, and credit to him, he was a poly lad from out Toowoomba way. Bro, I didn't even know who he was because we're all over 100. I was like 135 fighting fit, and I was fighting blokes 6'4", 140 plus, big man. I was small,
Super heavyweight.
bro.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I had three opponents drop out, and on the night, I didn't even know. I'm in my getting strapped up, and I still had not visually seen my opponent.
Yeah,
now
right.
comes this 24-year-old polyglot rugby player who's in the off season, 6 foot fucking 2, and I'm going, I'm an old cunt. This cunt's gonna pound me. and I look straight up, mate. The first round, I come out and I just let him just push me around the ring and bash me because in my head I'm going, keep going.
When you're tired.
Yeah, I knew he was going to gas.
Yeah.
I knew he was going to gas. You know, I mean, there's only so much someone's going to throw.
Yeah.
And when he
Right,
gassed,
that's it.
then I attacked, and I got the win. But
Smart.
not to
Smart.
be cocky about it, but it was one of those things where you go, fuck, you know, because sometimes you train and you want to know who your opponent is. You want to notch up against, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like whether it
100.
plays on your mind when you start you still want to know. When you get 3 opponents drop out and then you get some lad that's like half your age stepping in the ring, he's just finished a full season of rugby, and I'm going, I'm fucked. But he didn't know how to kick. I did.
Hey, that's what
His
it
big
comes
legs
down
went
to,
real
bro.
fucking black real quick. yeah, so
Poor cunt.
that's like a game of chess, but it's fun.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Bro, it's like I was doing a bit of looking through your socials and
Very
that.
fucking rude, man.
Sorry.
Why would you do that without asking me?
No, I'm a
That's
stalker.
creepy, but-
Yeah, but
Why's your leg shaking, bro?
relax.
Why is your leg shaking?
I can see his arms like this.
He's like, don't punch me,
Bro,
please don't punch me.
I was having a look, man.
Look, it's still vibrating.
Come on, bro.
It's all good, bro. We're in the hood.
Stoned.
That's the hood.
Bro,
That's
so
why he
like-
gave me those 3 8. It wasn't 1 and 2, it was 3.
Is that really?
No, yeah,
Sorry,
but
bro.
nah, you're good, bro. But
Oh, thanks. Now I got your approval. I'm good now. After you've done your research. Thank
anyways.
fuck.
What I wanted to
Meanwhile,
ask
back at the
was-
ranch.
Fuck. Oh, fuck. Yeah. Fuck, I've lost that.
Go.
Be confident, bro. It's all good.
What was I gonna ask,
You're-
bro? How like you're like an advocate for the prisoners that come out, like people that are just freshly out, and I've seen you started a charity type of thing.
Proper, bro.
No, so what? Okay, yeah, and thank you for that. When I was sentenced to 6 years in 2019, end of 2009 and 2010. And that for me was it.
Yeah.
I had enough.
Mm.
You know, I ended up in Segro for a long time for my attitude and my aggression. It's just shit. The way the world was, the way the jail system is, it's just shit. There's nothing good about it. Everybody's vulnerable, and there's so much that goes on in there. When you're doing a whack, you're guaranteed you're going to have drama, even if you stay out of it. Like, it was just all too much. Anyway, 2 blokes took their lives in there. And I thought, I could have been one of those guys quite easily.
Fuck me, bro. Fuck me.
At the time, I had to make a choice. I hadn't dealt with being sexually abused as a child,
Yeah.
so I was carrying a lot of I guess, anger and a lot of stress. Yeah, baggage definitely. I didn't know how to release it. I tried to, and when I did try to release it, when it happened, I was bashed by my father for speaking about it, you know what I mean? And I was shut down from ever talking about it. So for me, it was just, who do you talk to? Where do you go?
Yeah.
So that being said, I sort of got to a point after nearly 14 years through boys' homes and jail where I thought my kids deserve a better father. You know, I need to be present. And I have survived 3 suicide attempts in my younger years that were quite full on. And I truly believe it's only through God that I'm still here, because I don't understand how they didn't work. But I don't want to get into it, because if you do, it may trigger someone out there. And it's something that I'm really sort of strong about, is being careful of people. And everybody has traumas, and I don't want to be the triggering point. But I got a bee in my bonnet that I don't have a trade, I don't have anything in life for my children to look at me and go, that's my dad. I didn't. If you read anything about me, I was either a bikie, I was a drug importer, I was a violent man, I was this, I was that.
That's what's plastered on the internet.
100%.
Right?
And they bring it all from the past. 15 years later, you know, first headline is, fucking ex-enforcer charged with accessory to murder.
That was one of your YouTube handles.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, really?
Yeah. And
I
even when you
haven't
do
been
something
involved-
good, that's the fucking...
That's right, but I haven't even been involved
Getcha.
in that lifestyle since 2009. We're in 2023.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So a lot's been done in those years of good.
Yeah.
Up until now, I hadn't been in any criminal offences, right?
Yeah.
That aside, I got out and I had 3 years parole. I was under federal, because I was charged under the federal act, because it was importation.
Yeah.
I thought, I've got to do something here. It's going to keep my mind occupied. So I got back into road cycling, and I loved it. And I thought, when this parole's finished, I need to do something to raise awareness for mental health, and something to give back, something, you know, to people out there to realise that they're not alone.
Yeah, for sure.
And I thought, fuck it. And I come up with this idea, and a mate said to me in Perth, he said, why don't you come and visit me? And I said, yeah, right, I'll ride over there. He goes, you wouldn't do that. I went, yeah, I fucking will.
His leg starts shaking.
I was the first in the world to cycle a push bike in 2006. Hang on.
Fuck,
What's that one?
with his jewelry on, bro.
Jewelry there.
That's a Mount Drew Rolex, bro.
Come on, bro. Some there.
You haven't had one of these?
With the Asics too.
Come on,
Check
bro.
out the Asics too, bro.
How's the calves, but look.
That's a road bike, bro.
2016. So 2017, I did Tassie. That's what I was trying to correct. So 2016, thank fuck I got tats. 2016, I become the first person in the world to cycle from Snapper Rocks on the Gold Coast to Cottesloe Beach in Western Australia, and did it in 45 days.
From GC.
Fucking
And the second
Yeah.
day, I rode into an East Coast low and I fractured my elbow. I don't know if you can see the scar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I fractured my elbow. And I didn't tell anybody about it. And I just fucking took it on, and I thought, no, I've trained for this. I've come
Just
too
keep
far.
going.
I'm going.
Yeah,
I'm going.
bro.
I just...
With a fractured elbow.
Yeah, bro.
So you were riding and you couldn't move this. And
Yeah, bro. And I rode just under 2,000 kilometres to Ceduna, which is just before you go on the Nullarbor and the long road to Perth. There's one hospital. And it's not a big hospital. And it was the second state of origin in 2016. We were at the bottom of South Australia, just before Ceduna. It was like 50 Ks out from there. Anyway, it's where they get all the oysters. It's Coffin Bay, somewhere down there.
yeah.
And one bloke followed me with a car and a caravan all the way with the hazard lights going click, 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 click.
Yeah, right.
Did you know him? Like,
Mate, he was a volunteer.
oh,
I didn't want
yeah.
anybody.
Mad
I didn't want
cunt,
anybody I knew, because I didn't
Yeah.
want anyone to go, oh yeah, you know, like, oh, you probably did this, you did that. It's not all. And I GPS'd everything, so nothing could be questioned.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all news crews, newspapers, everybody knew what I was doing all the way across Australia. So it was kind of good.
Yeah.
It was the second state of origin, and he goes, "Oh, we're going to have a beer and go and watch the footy." I said, "Yeah," and we had dinner. And it was about 6:30. And I said, "Man, I'm feeling really fucked."
yeah.
He goes, "You're not going to watch?" I said, "No, you watch with the locals, whatever." I said, "I'm going to go lay down." By midnight that night, my arm was inflamed like the size of my knee, and it was
Fuck
red
me.
all the way through here. Well, I didn't realise, but I had the onset of septicemia.
What's
That
that?
shit kills you, bro.
Oh,
My
shit.
temperatures went from like fucking, I think, what are we normally, 35 or something?
Yeah, something like that.
30, whatever it
Yeah.
is. But it was at 39 to 40 degrees.
Fuck me.
Oh,
So
bro, I
hot,
was
hot.
shutting
You
down.
were just, yeah.
I was
Yeah.
fucking cooked.
Fucking
And
overheating this cunt.
it come in and
Get some water in him,
I was drenched.
Yeah,
And I was
right.
at the point where the pain was so excruciating. I was in tears, man. It was fucked.
Yeah.
I said, you got to get me out of here. I said, we've got to get to a hospital now. He said, what's wrong? I said, I don't know. I don't know. All I said, look at my arm.
Yeah.
So then we went to Sejuna Hospital. From there, it was every 30 minutes. I had an IV. I was getting fucking injections. I was just for 48 hours was the most craziest 48 hours of my life. Once the temp had been managed and they got down in the IVs, they said, right, we've got to send you to Adelaide. I'm like, what? They go, yeah, you're done. I went, no. No, this is I'm beyond halfway now. I'm not done. I said, you're done. And I was rattled. So they flew me to Royal Adelaide Hospital. What did I spend there? 4 or 5 days there. And the moment the doctor said to me, they did operation, cleaned my bursitis sac, took out all the bone fragments and basically stitched me up. And he goes, mate, you're going to have to organise to head home. I said, no. I said, I'm doing something bigger than me. This is about other people. It's not just about me. I said, no.
Yeah.
And he goes, what do you mean now? I said, take the IVs out of me. He took them out of me. I said, now, do I have to take anybody? He says, yes, you do. I said, well, write me scripts. I said, give me some fucking endones. So I got 2 boxes of endones and I went biking, baby. And I rode 2,000 kilometres in fucking 9 days, bro. 9 days.
hell.
I rode
Faster my
2,000
life.
kilometres. And I got to
9
Perth.
days.
9 days, yeah. 9 days,
hell,
yeah.
bro.
So the determination that I had to make a difference in my own life and the fact that I wanted to do something to help others and my children to always go, that was my dad.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah.
That is the point of what I'm saying to you when you ask that question is it was for my children, but it was also to represent all the people that we'd lost, you know, because so many people were invested in what I was doing.
Yeah.
And support from community was
Yeah, big
phenomenal,
time.
you know,
Yeah,
and
100%.
each, I was getting parents, brothers, sisters saying, I lost my brother, lost my sister, lost my husband. I felt honoured carrying them with me.
You, man,
You know?
that would have been your biggest push,
It
right?
was,
You
it
know,
was.
to
And there was
keep
no
you
turning
going.
back, bro. Nothing was going to stop me. But from that, I also learned what mentally, when we talked about resilience earlier,
That's,
Yeah.
yeah.
how far can I go? How far can you push me? How many
Yeah.
times can I get kicked when I'm down?
Yeah.
Like, fuck, don't get me wrong, it hurts. You get sick of it.
Oh, bro, it would.
This last 6 months, I've been kicked that many fucking times.
Yeah.
And I've questioned. I just can't deal with this anymore.
Still going though.
But I'm going, bro. I'm going because, you know, like I go like this, I go this, then I go like this. And then I find that spark and I find that positivity. You know, I got my dear friend Dylan here with me today.
Shout out Dylan,
you know,
man. Shout out Angry Dad, man.
Yeah. The Orvals. Like, Dill's been, you know, a part of him and his family. And I'll say that with nothing but love. They know my story. They know what's going on. They know where it's at. And, you know, they're the most kindest, loving people and have gone out of their way in any way to just offer support, whichever way. They've
Goes a
never
long
dropped the ball.
way, yeah.
But the cunts that I've known forever, you're 5'8".
Yeah,
They're 5'8" when you got rack at the table, when the cash is stacked, when you're eating lobster, when you're rooting sluts, whatever you're doing. You know what I mean? They're your fucking bros, you're 5'8".
Yeah.
Brother, I remember when we were in clubs, mate, I used to sit there 3-4 phones at a time. They would be non-stop. We'd be kicking on for days, you know what I mean? And like, nah, bro, don't put any money on. Nah, you're right, you're sweet.
hard.
We're in it together.
Yeah.
Then times
If I'm
get
eating,
tough.
you're eating. If it's lobster,
Yeah.
we're eating lobster. If it's
Yeah.
fucking steak sandwiches, what it is.
Heard it
But
all,
we're in
eh?
it together.
Yeah.
Boom, you get pinched, something goes wrong.
Then gone.
Your missus doesn't even get a phone call saying, can I offer to help you with the rent? Can I pay some food?
It's crazy.
You know what I mean? And then when you get out, they'll cross the street.
Yeah, bro.
And you go, fuck, I know that cunt.
Yeah.
And he'll cut straight across and you watch him head down and you
Yeah.
fucking weak cunt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the reality of life. And I've learned,
big time, bro.
I've had to accept that because my circle's become so small.
That's it.
So
Yeah.
small.
Yes, bro.
My circle revolves around my children. My children's my world.
Love that, bro.
And it is. You know, if I got knocked tomorrow or something went down, all right. But you know what? I've been able to do something that I didn't think I could ever do, and that was leave them with some sort of positive memory for them to be proud of their dad.
Yeah.
I didn't want my
bro.
kids to ever, you know, think because of the world that I was living in, mate, your life's not worth shit.
Yeah.
At any
There's no
hour of any
legacy
day,
behind it.
mate, any
Yeah.
hour of any day, someone will pop you, take you out, whatever. That's just how it is these days. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And what would my children do? Grow up going, oh, my dad was just
This,
Yeah.
nah. My dad went back and played football. My dad cycled across Australia. My dad
Yeah.
was a good truck driver. My dad was a great father. Went to all my footy matches. My dad helped me with my singing. My dad You know what I mean?
Fuck
Yeah.
It's so good to hear that because it shows like no matter how shit goes, you could still do it if you really want
Yeah.
to do it. Hey,
It's fucking hard. It is hard. And he seen me at my weakest just recently. You know, I was gone, bro. I was buckled.
Yeah.
You know, but a shoulder
To lean
Yeah.
to
that's
lean on
it,
is
bro.
so valuable.
Yeah.
And
Even like an
unfortunately,
ear to
people are
speak
so
to,
full of
yeah?
shit, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just said this in my latest podcast. I spoke with an American guest, and you know, a lovely guy, Joe, and we were talking about the whole mental health thing. You know how people do this "Are you okay?" day, or they do this fucking one day a year, and everyone pulls themselves off and flicks their beans, and they're all like, I did a good deed. I'm an influencer, and are you okay? And fuck up, sit down, cunt. You know what I mean? Like, sit the fuck down. What do you do every other day of the week? 365 days in the year. What the fuck are you doing every day to ask that person, are you okay? It doesn't have to be a family member. It doesn't have to be anybody, man. Have a bit of nous about you. Pay attention to your surroundings.
Yeah, bro. Come on.
You know, like you talk about the hood. All right, I grew up in a hood.
Yeah.
You boys see what the hood's about, man. There's that much heartache and pain in those places. People are struggling.
100%.
But do you think many people will ever walk up and say, hey, you all right, bro? Fuck no. Hey, bro, you got a shot? Hey, bro, you got a line? Hey, bro, let's get drunk. Hey, you got weed?
Yeah.
But then I'm worried about what the come down is tomorrow or where that person is before they get to there. They'll kick on and go to the next door and they'll just say, yeah, bro, you got we on?
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But reality of it is, don't piss in my pocket and think that you're fucking checking in
Give
on
him,
me.
yeah.
You're not checking in on anyone.
You don't
You're full
actually
of fucking
care,
shit.
right? Yeah.
You know, and it's a real hard cultural shock, man,
Yeah,
because
come on now.
you know this whole big picture around. I'm an advocate for mental health, or I'm an advocate for suicide. I'm an advocate for fucking checking in. You're full of shit. You're a clout chasing motherfucker that just as real as fake as every chick on the Gold Coast.
Hey. Shout out to the Gold Coast girls, bro.
Fucking mad as
Cheers to
cunt,
that.
bro.
Bro, so your podcast, man, how important do you feel like it is on a personal level to give platform to all these people and their redemption stories, bro? Because for us, it was, we need, like for Bender Yarns, our thought process was, we need to put on for the people who aren't getting the lights, you know, all these Polynesian rappers, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, because
That was sort of our
funny
vision.
cunt.
That was sort of our vision. They see the
I love
things, but then we want to show the BTS how they think, how they feel.
Yeah, well,
Yep.
What was your vision going into opening up the Clink?
Yeah, good question, and thank you for that. Because for me, initially was all I wanted.
That was a good question.
No, you got me in the feels, motherfucker.
Have a sip was
He's got the hands.
No, because you know it's just
Crude as fuck. Nah, crude Australia family. Peace out. Hey, shout out to
Crude,
Crude.
sponsor.
Oh, no, say that, Crude. No, great people. Good quality. Anyway, get back to my bro. Great
Rambo there, bro.
Yeah. No, fuck, you got me.
We got him.
All right, hang on. Okay, and back. Here we go. Yeah, look, in all honesty, for me, it was sharing my story so no one else ever had to go through it. I think the biggest thing was visualize. Okay, so, and I'm going to be honest here. I'm going to be real honest. So I'm driving a truck. I'm weeks away from home. I'm in a really, really dark place. Really dark place. I pull up on the side of the road, and for me, I was throwing a rope over the back of the trailer. That was it.
Fucking hell.
As you can probably tell, it's not the nicest thing to say. Funny enough, that particular night, who you would know as well in Powerfish, we were buddies, rings my phone. Because he's just a fucking loose cunt that's up all hours of fucking whatever the night. Thank God for him though.
Yeah.
And just the call changed my whole mindset.
Yeah.
He said, man, we've got to get you out of this truck. He said, why don't you start a podcast? I said, because I can't afford it. Simple as that. I just don't have the money to buy the equipment to set it up. I don't have the space. He goes, but you know so many people, you know, you know you're good with the media. You know how to talk. Like, just do it. I said, I can't do it. I said, I want to do it. He said, well, there's no can't. He said, let's make it happen. And he's going to shoot me for saying this, and fuck you, Willem. But in all honesty, he was the beginning of the Clink.
Yeah, right.
He said, I'll back you. He
Yeah.
said, just make it the best podcast you can.
Fuck me, bro.
And when I say back me, he just said, what do you need? And like I said, he'll probably shoot me because it's not something that's ever been spoken of or said, but I'm an honest person and this is how it is. So from that moment onwards, someone believed in me.
Yeah. That's all you needed,
It changed that whole mindset. And I was like, okay, when I'm home for a week, when I was doing 3 and 4 weeks in the truck driving around Australia, I want to build up as much content as I can.
Yeah.
So I got the opportunity to work out of a studio. We created a studio and it was in Currumbin. Next minute, bang, we're starting to get a good roll on.
Yeah.
Then COVID hits. Everything stopped.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck.
Now what?
Yeah.
You know, like this door open, the light was shining through and I'm going, fuck, this is an opportunity of a lifetime.
Yeah.
I couldn't get anyone in the studio.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not tech savvy. What do we do? So obviously through a little bit more connection, talking to people, obviously you could create a virtual studio online and we could bring people in. And that's how it continued.
Zoom, Skype and shit.
Yeah, and there's another particular one that we use as well. And from there on in, it just become the roll-on effect.
Yeah, right.
That's
So-
skyrocketed from there when I
Absolutely.
yeah, fuck yeah.
Absolutely. So
Sometimes it's not the way you want it to be. Hey,
Nah.
you know, you would have wanted them in the
Yeah.
studio, but fuck, you just got to do what you
bro,
gotta
it
do,
was
right?
because you'd try and contact guests and they'd be like, oh, where's your studio at? Oh, I'm online.
yeah.
Oh, well, do you do YouTube? No, it's only audio. Thankfully, no one knocked me back from that point of view.
Yeah.
So it was a blessing that people sort of understood that. And I think COVID had a little bit
A
of...
bit of play in it.
I think COVID was a good thing in the end for me personally because people were home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People were bored.
Yeah.
Yeah,
People
that's it.
Wanted
were
something.
educating themselves. People were checking out podcasts. The world was changing.
Big time.
So if you had some sort of connection with people to be able to relate to, whether it be through music, laughter, stories of redemption,
Yeah.
Yeah.
100.
you're making a difference and somebody would listen. So in some sense, I've got to thank COVID for that. It fucked us all, but it also too opened up the Clink.
Yeah.
And
A lot of
it's...
good things came from it too.
Yeah, bro, it's never, ever been in the red, ever. And you guys that understand the back end of stuff now. I'm starting to understand more technical sides of it. And, you know, the green is a very important colour. You know, we don't want to see reds.
Got to stay in the green.
We
bro.
don't want to see reds.
Yeah,
And, you know, it's never, ever... Plastic, where's the fucking wood? It's never been in the red. And I'm very grateful for that. And I will do everything in my power to continually keep it in the green and keep it growing.
Yeah.
If ever I start to see it start to spiral backwards, then I can guarantee then I'll be putting it out there. What am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
Where are we going wrong? How do we rectify it? How do we get ourselves back to that, you know, exciting every Monday drop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, what do we do? Because it's obviously the listener that's not happy if you're going into the red.
reds. Yeah, that's it.
Because if you're doing the same thing and it's been in the green, but then all of a sudden something's dropping,
Yeah.
what have I done wrong?
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What aren't you happy with? And that's something I'm constantly thinking about is you, the listener. It doesn't matter so much for me. I can sit there and say, oh, this is the way I want to do it and this is how it should be done. Hang on a sec.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
What matters is that opinion. And
them,
exactly. And I know that we sit back and we say, oh, don't worry about other people's opinions. But when you're in this space,
Yeah, you gotta have to take it
the
into
guest,
consideration.
the listener opinion is
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
It's constructive. Fuck, everyone talks shit.
Yeah.
Someone's going to tell you he's a fucking idiot. So well, you
Oh,
get on
bro.
the piss and talk shit.
Yeah, we've
oh, you
had
talk
it.
about stories of redemption, but yet you promote fucking crime.
Yeah.
Listen, fuckwit.
Needs to have a bigger picture, all right?
Listen, everybody has a story. How's
Yeah.
there redemption in a story if you don't have a backstory?
Yeah, word, bro.
You know, and it's not about glorifying any, and I constantly say that. We do not glorify anybody. Mate, we've had some of the most hardest criminals from around the world.
Glorify the come up.
See, how can you redeem from without a story? You know what I mean?
Nothing, bro. What's
Exactly
redemption
right.
without fuck up?
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly,
That's
bro.
exactly right.
Simple.
Bro.
I love
Yeah.
that, bro. I
You
love
know,
that.
so for me, yeah, and I've become super pat. But in all, it's been very therapeutic.
Yeah,
word.
big
It's-
time.
it's
big
helped
time.
me.
Yeah.
I suppose it's been
Same,
my
bro.
way of
Same
a little bit
thing,
of a
man.
counselling.
Yeah.
We get the same feeling,
Same
you know,
feeling,
talking to
bro.
like-minded people. It's like,
Yeah,
fuck,
it's like we're learning.
these guys
so
are learning,
much,
but bro,
But you get elevated by it.
yeah,
Yeah.
big time, bro.
And I
Yeah.
don't think out of coming up to 11 seasons, I've ever. No, I lie. Okay.
never see them
Yeah.
up our game.
There's
last
one. I'm not going to say who. There's one I just shook my head about it after it and I went,
year, wasn't it?
Nah.
But you know the thing is like
Nah.
how you said before, you're like, I didn't even know. If
and
I'm,
whether
like,
you
up
listen
to
to this or not, you'll know who you are, but I won't say your name.
But you know
We
Yeah.
just didn't get all the downloads, sorry.
Fair
It
enough.
cut out halfway
That's
through.
what it is. It is what it is.
But like how you said before, you're like, bro, I don't even know if I'm like, you know, I've had crack up guests and shit, bro. Like, don't downplay yourself because this is a whole different perspective from a Polynesian.
Oh,
bro.
bro.
You know what I mean?
We
It's
haven't
from a
heard this
different
before.
audience too,
Yeah.
bro. They're gonna see your shit and then fuck with
they're
what you're
gonna
doing.
listen to this and be like, oh shit, Polynesian aren't that fucking like, you know what I mean? My older brother's not all about that if I listen to this kind of, but you know what I mean? It
Real shit.
opens up different avenues to how we think.
Yeah.
Because you know it's a
But the
stereotypical
thing
thought.
is too, you know, and we talk about culture.
Yeah.
So the Clink for me has become something that's an absolute passion. It really is. Like I record every week, so you know I'm like everybody else. I work in a job. I've just finished up from living out of a semi to starting to work local again, which gives me a little bit more life.
Nice, yeah,
'Cause
that's
I've been
it.
so
You get
consumed.
closer
I'm
to
home for 48
yeah,
hours. You know,
that's it.
Saturdays my boys for rugby league.
Yeah,
Sundays committed to the podcast.
Yeah.
Now I can be here.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know, like
for
I
real,
can
man.
Actually
Go
relax
do
and
some
enjoy.
things, eh?
And I'm excited for what comes of it because I mean, you don't know how many people's lives are going to change through
That's it, bro.
that one story.
Yeah,
I always said
that's
if I
it.
can make a difference in one person's life, then I've done the
enough.
right thing.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
And
Fuck yeah.
not being a dickhead, but there's so many more.
Oh, you've been a dickhead, bro.
Now I'm going to flex. Cunts. There's thousands.
No,
But you know what I
100%.
mean? You can't look at
Yeah.
it like you don't get your head fucking swollen out.
Yeah,
But-
that's it, bro.
And this is what I was only saying to someone the other day that we were talking about. And he goes, oh, why don't you, you know, like you show people the messages that people, what the fuck?
yeah,
If you're going to message me privately or you're going to message me and say to me, hey, listen, thanks for the podcast. This is my story. Or thank you, I relate because of. Who the fuck am I to publicly put
Exactly
that out
right.
there?
Yeah,
What am I
yeah,
clout chasing?
yeah,
Because I'm
yeah.
going to then say, I've got 500 fucking messages of people
of the
saying,
same shit.
my
yeah.
life, this, that, this. Come
Saved
on,
my
man.
life type of thing.
Come on, man. Really?
Yeah.
Is that why we do it?
That's not why we do it.
That's
Exactly
not why we
right.
do it.
Yeah.
So-
My life bit.
You know, like you gotta weigh it up.
Yeah,
And you gotta be
100%.
respectful and also to, I think, be very kind to anybody. My pet hate is if somebody messages you or goes to the effort of connecting with, even if
Yeah.
it's just a hey boys, well done.
yeah,
Give that person acknowledgement. Thank you. I
bro.
appreciate
Even a
it.
like or
So,
something,
yeah.
you know.
Something. The amount of people that you know, and I guarantee it happens to you boys,
Yeah,
don't fucking acknowledge shit.
yeah. Word, bro.
You know what I mean?
Word.
Like, come on. They don't
Word.
open it up. And if
Yeah.
they do, or you send them a message,
Yeah.
like there's, you know, some people that we all know, that everybody knows,
Yeah.
that I go, wow, oh, well, they checked the message and there's a little bit of a connection back.
Big time.
And it may not be a big conversation, but it's that acknowledgement of saying,
At
hey,
least they know,
I've seen
yeah,
your message.
yeah.
Thank you for messaging me.
Yeah.
And hey, look, blah, 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 small chat, whatever. Other times it opens up doors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
That's
me
it.
personally, if you're all taking the time to actually send something to me that's personal to you, that's not there for me to promote in the world
Yeah,
space.
exactly
That's
right.
there for you feeling that your safe space is able to connect with me.
Yeah.
Mm,
So therefore,
that's awesome, bro.
just embrace and appreciate that.
That's such a good
It's
way
just
to
a
look
good
of it.
cunt,
bro.
That's
Yeah.
such a mad way to look of it because
You
you,
have
know
to,
people,
bro. Like, how do
people
you
out
build
there
trust
don't
and
even
understand?
like. Yeah, 100%, bro. Like,
Are you? If I go and put your thing up there and go clout chasing and go, fuck, check this out. Brother boy's gone out and
Yeah,
said that, you know,
yeah.
during
This
this
and
hard
that.
time
This
and
and
this
that,
happened
yeah.
to him and
Yeah,
that and
yeah.
this and boom, the world knows. What if he didn't want anyone but you to know and
Exactly,
he's never
yeah.
opened up, which so many people don't, and they'll say it. I've never told anybody.
yeah.
Yeah.
But after hearing this story, I can relate. And how do I get help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do I talk to? Can you
Yeah.
please give me some sort of direction?
Because that feeling when
That
you get
right
that
there is
message.
why
Yeah.
we do it.
Exactly
Yeah.
right, bro.
Yeah, when you
Exactly
get those
right.
messages, you know, people that you're actually
Yeah.
helping.
Fuck yeah.
Exactly right, bro. Like
I love it,
we've
bro.
had
It's
that
the
in,
best,
in
man.
like fucking TikTok live, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, people jump on and be like, "Fuck,
Your body helps me.
Yeah.
a lot,
I'm
bro.
going through this and
Yeah.
that," but you guys give me a light. You
Yeah.
know, it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
that is exactly why we do this shit. This is the whole reason why. Not because we want to, fucking get the artists out, this and that, bro. It's for us to connect
Average
to you.
blokes like us.
For us to connect to you, like we go through the same shit.
Do you know what I love though? And you talk about the artists and getting them out there. One thing, and I've listened to a lot of your guests, and I don't really listen to too many. I've got to connect with something for me to be wanting to get. It's like reading books. I can't even remember reading probably any more than 10 books in my nearly 50 years of life.
Yeah.
But the ones that I've read, I relate to.
Yeah. That's
and
it.
I've enjoyed.
Fucking
You know what I mean?
War. I'm guessing?
That's a good one, brother. I got a mad one for that. I got a mad one for that. About how they take their horses, take their food, and take their And there's only 100 of them against 1,000. Anyway, we'll leave that for another day.
Another day.
The Art of War. Get that book.
Yeah, word.
And it's actually a very good book to read from the psychology point of it, of how to see life.
Yeah.
For me, I think that, like, if you can take a small piece of every conversation, and it may not be much, maybe just a word, maybe a paragraph, and implement it in your life.
Yeah.
Everybody meets for a reason.
Yeah, get your
Fucking oath, bro.
Learn from everyone.
Whether you take that for granted or not, that's up to you.
Yeah.
But if you want to really look at it and hang for a second and say, fuck, look, bro, I'm just a fucking bum from the hood.
Yeah.
And I've eaten at the table with some, famous people. I've done some fucking things with. People that you would never ever, like, who am I? I'm a fucking nobody, you know what I mean? And here I am in this space. I've been privy to be around bands. I've connect with famous people, have friends that are, world champions. And then I just go, wow, I'm just a kid from the houses at Campbelltown.
Yeah.
But I guess the biggest thing is what you put out is what you get back.
Yeah, big time, bro.
I think
Big time.
when you look at you guys talking about the poly community, it's hard because it's such a strong, masculine community.
Prideful.
It is very proud, very,
We're
very
so
proud.
yeah.
And, like, to open or drop your guard it's not always okay.
Not an easy thing.
Especially for their elders to see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Big time, bro.
And
Big
for a dad to look at his son who's unloading.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy, come on, man.
My dad's a minister, right? A reverend.
Blessed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And I had a word with him yesterday. This was the first time I was speaking to my parents in at least 2 months because we've just been busy, this and that.
Pumping, bro.
That's a long time for you boys, hey? Because
Massive,
families
bro.
are tired,
Massive.
everything.
Like I had to talk to him because it was getting heavy on me.
Yep.
And we had a word, and he doesn't really know what Bender Brothers is. Like he does, he has an idea, but not the full extent of how far we've gone into it. Like in terms of turning us into a business type thing, And I had a word with him, and straight away, Dad's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" But later on, like 20 minutes after the chat, we ended it. It was like, "I'm so proud of you, son. I love what you're doing. I see you. I see
Your eyes.
you."
Look at your eyes.
Bro, oh man, like this thing, this was the biggest
okay?
bro. This was the biggest thing for me,
Right,
like,
that man.
to get
Far
that
out.
shit
Well
from
done for
bro.
even now, like laying it out there to everybody that's
Big
watching
time,
this.
like this is
that's beautiful.
like what you saying all of that, bro. Like it just like I said it to my wife last night. It's like fuck. This is creating something for us where we can say these things, where we can talk freely about how we feel and what we're thinking. You know what I mean? Like this is why Bentley Youngs is here.
And I think the biggest thing is
Love you, Swanee.
I love you, boy.
beautiful. And you know what? Be very proud of you because we can all be who we can all be a part of our environment.
That's bro.
Right? We can all wear the shoes. We can all run the ball out. We can all do what we have to do.
Big time,
If the switch flicks, we can do what we have to do. Does that make you a hard cunt?
Yeah, bad, bro.
That right there, that's a hard cunt. That right
Literally,
there
bro.
from the heart, that's a real man. That's real man shit.
Appreciate that.
That's
bro.
hard. That's a real tough guy. And that's what matters in life. And I think that if you can be a gentleman and humble, look, never ever be fooled. Never ever be fooled thinking that because you're laying your heart on the table, I'm laying my heart on the table, or I'm exposing myself to the things that I'm passionate about. Don't be fooled.
Yeah.
Don't be fooled that you knock on my door or you come at me, then I'm not going to fucking be that other
Exactly,
guy.
bro.
Like,
100%.
You know what I mean? That's
100%,
how.
bro.
That's me, my
That's what
blood.
it
That's
is.
who I
Yeah,
am.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
100%.
My whole life's been about standing on my own 2 feet.
Yeah.
Whether you get knocked down, get the fuck back
Yeah.
up. But I'm going to come back tenfold.
Fucking oath.
Come on.
But who do I? Is that me as a man, or is that what I want to be, or is that being put in a predicament or a situation where I
Do
have
what you
no
gotta
choice?
do.
Yeah,
but
you
to
got nothing
become-
else. Exactly right.
Exactly. I'm not going to lay down and get fucked.
But it's not who
Yeah.
you are.
No, it's not. But this is who we choose to
That's
be.
it,
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
That's it.
And that's a good human.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I feel
caring
like-
about
yeah.
your people, caring about
That's
your
it.
dad, taking
Yeah,
that
bro.
moment and opening your
Yeah,
heart up
man.
to your
Yeah.
dad and
Bro, it was huge
open
for
it up
me.
here right now.
Yeah,
That's the real.
And I fucking appreciate that, bro.
The real.
bro.
I appreciate that heavy, man.
Mm.
Fuck. You didn't tell us that.
Yeah,
you don't fucking tell me that.
someone else in the field. Bro, it's real shit that like
Nah, hard.
literally like what we're going
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
Everything in our
Yeah.
life that has happened,
Yeah.
literally leads up to this
Yeah,
point, bro.
right.
Like
Yeah.
everything that we go through comes back to our parents, bro.
Hard out, bro.
Mm.
Because for me, I used to chase that gratification from an older bloke, bro. Like in the years coming up, and it was so fucking funny. Yesterday, I had dinner with my in-laws, bro, and
That's never easy.
yeah, no, I love it. I love it. Like he'll watch this, man, and he won't even realize I'm saying this, but fuck. He goes to me, man, we're talking about, stigmas that Polynesians hold, and he goes, man, growing up, man, like it was crazy for me to see my dad cry.
Yeah,
And
big time,
he
bro.
goes, when I see my dad cry, and I was like, what? And then he turns around, and he goes, and I love to see how you're doing, Sanga, because it's you being you. Like that opens up so many avenues for different islanders, bro.
Yeah.
Because me growing up, I thought I had to try and be a tough cunt.
Yeah,
Or I
big
thought
time.
I
That
was
was
like-
stereotype,
you know what I
bro.
mean?
Embedded in
Yeah,
us,
and,
bro.
and the moment this whole journey started, and like every guest that came on, they were like fucking. It was just like in my face, be you, be you, be you, and that was the whole message of just like, if I can be a goofy cunt, if I can just be that cunt that talks shit, and that's who I am behind off these cameras, maybe I'll be accepted. So like.
But I often say it, even in my
Yeah.
stupid fucking stories. Like I talk shit sometimes,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the amount of people that'll send me a message say, "Thank you, made my day."
Yeah,
Made your fucking day.
Exactly.
My day
Yeah,
sucked. My day sucked. You're very good from my message. What a shit fucking day. But you know what I mean? Look, and I'm the first to say I'm being a dickhead or being a clown,
Yeah,
but
bro.
if it made you laugh or you
Yeah.
smile or you cry,
Yeah.
whatever it might be,
Yeah.
and had an
Yeah.
impact in that one
Yeah.
person's day,
yeah,
bro, we've done our job.
yeah, big time, bro.
Yeah.
Or we've done our job.
And
Love that.
that's like, like it paid a contribution to why Bendy Yarn started. If
Big time,
if you've
bro.
seen the video of myself dancing on TikTok, and it blew up 1 million views. I can't do that if I'm around people that I'm trying to impress. If like back then, I'd be a cool kind of supple so. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, just a lax
you know what I mean?
one. Yeah,
I thought
lax
I
one.
had to be a certain image.
I liked watching your first one.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be honest with you. I
was
liked
talking
watching your
shit.
first because it was just 3 boys sitting down. I don't think he's really had any fucking deer.
No,
away.
way.
So then we're going to record it.
I know he's had a vision.
Yeah.
But
We had a
even to
vision.
the start, the intro, the little innuendos, and I was going,
No, you're taking
this
digs
is
now, bro.
This is but it's real, and that's what I'm saying here from the get go.
Yeah.
The same as the Clink. Like nothing is ever changed. I don't edit shit.
Yeah.
What your
Oh, right.
story is what your story goes out as.
Yeah.
Like we clean it up sound wise, but we don't cut, polish, whatever. The producers produce it. It's your story. I got no right to change what you say.
Yeah.
If you ring me or you say to me, "Hey Simo, can you just knock that out?" for whatever, and it has happened once or twice because of a couple of things. Obviously, we will do it because that's a request from you. But if nothing's said, what is recorded is what goes out.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think that's you got to keep it real.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna get somebody in and give them all the gories and all the good parts, and not
Yeah.
give the in betweens, then you're fucking kidding yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not respectful to that guest.
Yeah, it was.
That's not respectful to their journey, their life.
Yeah.
And you're full of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's plain and simple.
Yeah.
You know what I
Big
mean?
time,
What,
bro.
you're going to take the good and not throw in the bad?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
You're
it.
going to keep it 100.
Because it's the good and the
Facts,
bad
bro.
that makes you, hey.
Yeah,
But
man.
it's real.
Yeah.
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 It's
Real
real.
as fuck,
and that's
bro.
the difference.
Yeah.
You know? And you boys keep it real.
Thank
Fuck
you.
it.
Like, bro, like, well,
Fucking love it.
how I don't know if you've already answered it, but like, how did you find out you were real? How did you find out, like,
Yeah, good guy. That's
Yeah.
Are you a real cunt?
Are you a real yeah.
That's pretty much the question, lad.
I've never ever been put on the spot. Right?
That was a real question.
That is a real question.
I'm
lad.
really trying to answer it. You're supposed to laugh.
It's a fucking dad joke, bro.
Fuck, that's two dad jokes.
That's dad jokes, bro.
The dad jokes. Oh shit! My bad.
Take my bat. Fuck you. Ben the answer shit.
No, I'm on your side. I'm on your side.
You're
He's a
fake
shit.
as fuck. You're a fucking fake fuck. So you love me.
We'll cut that part out there.
But seven's good.
Don't cut it out. Oh, we'll cut that part out, boys. I don't want that part on there.
Oh dear. No. That's yeah. Wow. That's put me in my ass. Really. Where I guess being true to myself.
Yeah.
Really, the moment that I was able to actually speak about being abused as a child, physically and sexually, and it's even hard still to to talk about it.
Yeah, of course, man.
But I think from that moment, it allowed me to not feel judged, to not feel like I gave a fuck about.
Because it's already out there, right? You put it out
like
there.
I'm happy to talk about it now, and I don't care what somebody says.
Yeah.
Mm.
You call what
Yeah.
you want, say what you want. That's
Yeah.
your like. It doesn't. I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me.
100%.
Yeah.
But to get to that point, to realize that that's who I am and what I needed to do. Like I said before to someone, they said, "Oh, club life, this and that." I said, "Yeah, hey, listen, it was great. I loved it." I said, but when I got deep into who I was and started to divulge down to what I needed
Deeper.
to change for me to be a better dad, a better person, better husband, better man all around, I think I was just a young, scared boy that was wearing a set of colours that had created maybe an image. I don't know what word, but maybe I needed to be who I was to not be feeling like I was still that
Scared little boy. Yeah.
Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, no,
Like, don't get me
I
wrong.
hear,
I mean,
bro.
this is
I
no
hear.
disrespect to anybody out there today, but back in the day, you had to earn your colours,
Yeah.
right? So if you're a weak cunt, you're a weak cunt. You weren't getting them. But if you went through whatever you went through to get them and earn them, you got them,
Yeah.
and you earn them.
Yeah, big time.
So I could stand on my own 2 feet without that shit. So let's knock that right on the head now.
Yeah.
I didn't need no club to back me. I was me,
Fucking oath.
always
10
was.
toes, bro.
100%,
Yeah.
bro. Right? Whatever, let's go.
Yeah.
But to answer that question honestly, I feel that it was when I truly let it all go and dealt with me.
Yeah.
What my traumas
fuck
were,
yeah.
You know,
what I had to suppress
Yeah.
and protect to then become vulnerable.
I hear
Yeah.
that, bro. Because you can't look at yourself and lie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Can't lie to
you know,
yourself.
I can lie to
eh?
you right now. I can lie to you. I can't look myself in the mirror.
Yeah.
But we
and
do,
lie to yourself.
we do, because like we'll do things and we're conscious about it. We'll enjoy it at the time,
Yeah.
and you'll wake up in the
Yeah.
morning and you
You
go,
look.
And then
"You're a
yeah.
fuckwit."
Yeah,
Why?
yeah,
Why?
bro.
Whether it be drugs, drinking, chicks, gambling, just lying about something that you shouldn't have lied about.
Yeah.
But we do it.
Yeah.
We're human. We make
Human
mistakes.
yeah.
But it's what you do after that moment
Yeah.
But you realize
to make the change. And are you man enough to step up and look at that bloke in the face, like you said, and say, right, I need to take control of this.
Yeah.
I need to make a difference. I need
Yeah.
to change this. Or I need to alter a few things to find a better
Do
way.
I need to be better?
How do you
Exactly.
what was your pivot points?
Hitting an all-time low.
Yeah.
Losing it. I mean, for me, the one thing that I find very hard to ever accept is when I went to jail, my last one, I had a daughter who was born vision impaired, who was very young. I was her everything. I had a son who's now 24, who was just becoming a teenager, didn't have a dad there
Fuck, that's
to
our
go
age,
through
bro.
puberty with. Yeah. And my wife was 4 months pregnant with my second son. So I missed all that.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see him born. So out of 4 children, I still have to look him in the eyes every birthday. And it's come up now, he's 13, and know that I can't relate. Like he'll have a comment, oh, Mum, what was it like when I was born? Blah, 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 blah. And I don't know. I wasn't there. Now, I wasn't there because of my choices.
It's massive.
But then you have to carry that.
yeah.
That's probably the hardest.
Yeah.
The hardest. The rest of the shit I can deal with. But, you know, looking your own child in the face and knowing that you made choices that you can never
Put you
ever-
away from the.
Well, you can't replace that. How do you ever replace seeing your child born? You
I love
can't.
what you said though. It's what you choose to do after. You know, that's
You
the
have
big
to, bro,
thing.
because if you don't,
love
you,
that,
what are you
bro.
going to do? Go through life fucking
Just
going,
fucking
poor
complain
me,
about
and
it,
dragging your
or-
ass around all the time? And then what? Your kids see this father that's a fucking
Yeah.
bum dragging his ass around,
Exactly.
no successes, no nothing. Just what do you expect the next generation? What do you expect your children to come from?
Yeah.
We as family, we as parents, we as leaders in our homes need to take that ownership.
Yeah, brother.
You know, I'm fucking far from perfect
Yeah.
at all. I don't procrastinate to be. I'm not fucking saved. I'm not, you know, the bloke that was this and that that's now fucking. I'm not that guy. I fuck up. I make mistakes. I'm real. It is what it is. But I every day try to be better than yesterday.
Oh, bro. I love
That's all I can do.
fucking
I tell my kids, be 1% better. Be the best you can be right now.
Yeah, bro.
My son plays football. He's in an excellence program. He's doing very well. Comes home and says, Dad, you know, I'm feeling small. The boys are getting bigger. He's vegetarian. You know, it's the way he's been in his life. And the kids, they're growing. And he is a little bit small. I say to him, son, just be that 1% better than the last time you trained, the last time you played, and consistently build it.
Yeah.
Because sooner or later, they have to notice you.
Yeah.
You're in an excellence program because you're talented.
Yeah.
I have to
Man.
notice
You know, you cannot go through this being 1% better than each time and somebody not looking at you and going,
Yeah.
fuck, you're doing well.
Yeah,
Fucking
get
oath,
you,
bro.
Get you.
But if you go, fuck, I'm small, I'm
Just
going,
throwing
out,
it,
the boys are getting too big.
Oh,
You're
fuck.
gone, you're done.
Yeah.
You've lost, it's beaten you.
Man, that doesn't just go for footy, right?
No, that's life.
That's everything, man.
That's right now.
You are
That's
not-
bending yarns.
yeah.
That's your
Fucking
partner. That's your
oath,
husband,
bro.
your wife,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
kids.
Yeah,
That's everything,
everyone's
bro. Every
bigger
day.
than something that they were.
Yeah.
You know, and don't ever think that you're the biggest man in the room. Because if your ego is driven by that attitude,
Yeah,
you're going to get
bro.
knocked the fuck out sooner or
Yeah,
later.
bro.
And we all do.
Yeah.
We'll all meet our match.
Yeah.
You're the biggest man in the room, bro.
Oh, no. I don't want to meet
Literally.
anybody. That's a big forearm.
Gee, that's why I pump you.
Nah, but fuck, man.
Fuck, man.
What a chat, bro.
What a
Holy
fucking chat,
cunt, bro.
Hey,
Holy cow.
Hey, on behalf of the
proper,
Bender Brothers,
bro.
bro.
Thank you, bro.
Fuck, man, we just want to say a massive thank you, bro. I cannot fucking stress how much we've taken from this, bro.
Bro, I was cool to see.
Fuck, I want to go home and tell my kids, hey, be better one.
Look, in all honesty, I'm look, hairs stand up on my arms. It's been that way since I walked in this room. The energy you guys bring is a beautiful and unique and honest energy. And
Appreciate
listen,
that.
as someone that's been around polyculture, you know, a lot in my life, I get it. And I love what Polynesian people bring to the table. It's a special, it's unique.
Yeah.
And I feel blessed to have been able to understand that. And you've welcomed me with open arms today. And as I said, my ass was like this.
This guy called me on the phone. He's like,
Now I say okay. No. All jokes aside, all jokes. Thank you for having me.
Much love,
Hey,
you already know. Hey,
God bless
I want
you
to give
all.
a massive shout out to fucking Trojan Studios, bro.
Big shout out to Trojan.
Hey, if you want to do content, music, fucking club work, fucking Trojan Studios.
anything.
Yeah,
Hey,
thank
but you
you.
already know. Hey, Bender Brothers out. Much love. See you guys soon.
That's
Fucking love
it.
you.
Hey, come on now.